What's going on, TheGhaMerican Family? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Andrew.
I'm Free.
And we are TheGhaMericans. So a couple of days ago, my mom sent me a baby picture of me, and Free wanted to find out how growing up was like for me in Ghana. So I also wanted to know how growing up was for her as well in America. So we decided to make this video and share our thoughts with you guys. So, you understand?
You start.
So, we're going to break this into topics. Alright, so the first one, discipline.
Okay, so discipline. I already told you, like, my mom was very strict and my aunt was very strict as well. So growing up, I didn't just live with my mom. So I lived with my mom, I lived with my dad for a year, and then I lived with my aunt from 6th grade to 11th grade. So right before I started my senior year, I ended up going back to live with my mom again. So my experience growing up is kind of like a bit different, kind of unique. So I've experienced like different things at different stages in my life depending on who I was living with. But I'll just speak from the perspective of living with my mom. So discipline, my mom would my mom would whoop us, okay? So yeah, my mom would whoop us.
Wow.
We would get put on punishment. And when we were on punishment, I don't mean like this new school punishment. I'm talking old school punishment. Like, we couldn't go outside and play. We couldn't watch TV. My brothers couldn't play their games. We literally couldn't even leave our room without my mom like telling us to like come eat, or, you know, if we did leave our room, it was like going to use the restroom, or she was telling us, yes, or she was telling us to like come eat. Other than that, we just had to sit in our rooms and like look at the walls, literally. And if she caught you like turning the TV on or something like that, she would take it out of your room.
What?
Yeah.
So you had a curfew, or it was like you
like for
grounded?
TV time? For punishment?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't no curfew. No, it's like no TV at all. You can't watch TV at all. You can't go outside and play with your friends. You can't play the video game. We had to sit in our rooms and do nothing.
So you'd be whooped and
punishment.
Oh, so like you were like flogged like the way we were flogged back home. Man, my mom used to beat me. There was a time my mom wanted to whoop me so bad. She chased me and I literally ran. I kept on running. I didn't know where I was going, but I was just running, and she was pursuing me. And I think after a while, she got tired and went back home. And I was so scared to go home. I'm surprised you actually got flogged.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be a pumpkin, like, you know, like, oh, you're grounded, or staying.
No. So you remember I told you, like, you know, I ended up telling my mom once I was like an adult, like, you know, and she was like, oh, well, I have to treat everyone the same.
Oh.
So I'm the only girl, and I have 4 brothers. 3 of them belong to my mom. And my second oldest brother, he just always did what he wanted to do. And because he did what he wanted to do, he got in trouble a lot.
Wow.
So my mom, she was like, you know, I wanted to treat you all the same growing up. I didn't want to just make it seem like I was only being hard on your brother. So I was hard on everyone. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it too.
Even when you didn't do anything?
Yeah, it became a thing where like if my second oldest brother was in trouble, if he did something, she was yelling and screaming at him, doing whatever. Wow. She would kind of like find something else or find a reason to kind of like get on to me and my oldest brother. My youngest brother, we're 8 years apart, so he really didn't get it like we got it, but yeah.
All right, so number 2, we're going to talk about school, method of transportation to school, how you're able to get to school in the morning and also come home from school.
Okay.
So
you want to do this first this time? I spoke first the last time, I think.
Okay. All right. So for me, growing up, we didn't have the luxury of having our own car. Neither did my school provide transportation or school bus, nothing. So whenever like I had to go to school, I had to either walk or use part of my lunch money for transportation. Mm-hmm. Now, walking to school was about 45 minutes from where we lived to where my school was. And if I decided, okay, today I feel lazy, I want to take the bus, and I use part of my lunch money for transportation, I wouldn't be able to buy good lunch during lunchtime. So I always resorted to walking. And I did that for a very long time. I think from grade 2 to I think grade 7 or 8. So yeah, walk to school, walk back home, walk to school, walk back home every day, every single day. I don't know. Did you ever walk to school?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. So again, guys, depending on who I was living with, it was different for me. But when I lived with my mom, we always had to walk. So with my mom, I grew up in Texas for the most part. So the rule was for my particular school, or I guess in my school district, if you lived less than a mile from school, you had to walk to school. And for us, we always lived like 0.9 miles from school. So pretty much a mile from school. So we had to walk. Yeah, we had to walk.
No bus?
No, because to qualify to ride the bus, you had to be at least a mile away from school. And we were always like 0.9 miles from school. So it was pretty much like walking a mile to school. So it would be like a 20-minute walk to and from. Yeah, so like second, I don't remember first grade, but yeah, like second, third, fourth, fifth, all that. Yeah, I had to walk to and from school. Sometimes it would rain. Sometimes it would be freezing cold. It would be like blistering hot in Texas. When I lived in New Orleans for that year, my mom would drop me off initially, me and my brothers initially, and then we had to take like the city bus. So like city transportation. And when I lived with my dad in Georgia, he took me to and from school, or my aunt would pick me up from school because I went to school with my cousins. And then when I was in middle school, rode the bus. And then for high school, I think by the time I got to high school, my cousin was driving, so I would just ride with her.
So I guess you didn't walk for a long time like I did.
Yeah, not a long time. All right, so the third one, we're going to be talking about like our living space, like in terms of like, did you have your own room? Did you have to share a room and things like that? So for you, did you have to share a room?
Yeah, I didn't have my own room. Never.
Okay.
I never even thought of my own room. No. In fact, maybe I think I haven't told you this, but in fact, I shared one bed.
With your mom. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, and I'm the only child, for those who don't know. So I shared the bed with my mom, I think, till I was maybe 12, 13 years. Yeah, so if we had a visitor, my aunt comes or my uncle comes, what do? I have to sleep on the floor. Because we lived in the one room, and then we had like a small porch front there. So yeah, slept on the floor for a long time. I slept in just a blanket, and then I think after a while my mom was like, you know what, let me just buy a student mattress. I think, you know what a student mattress is?
Like the small size mattress, like a twin size mattress.
Like the mattress on the bunk bed.
Yes,
that one,
like a twin size.
Yes. So that my mom bought one. It was very thin, very cheap, I guess. So whenever we had visitors, I would sleep on that one. And I think after a while, I was like, you know what, I'm old enough. I don't have to sleep on the same bed with my mom. So I started sleeping on the floor rather than sleep on the bed. So yeah, didn't have my own room. The only time I had my own room was when I got to college. That was the first time, and it felt pretty weird, and I think it took me a while to get used to the fact that I was living alone. But yeah, I never had my own room. You did?
Yeah, because I'm the only girl.
Oh.
So
yeah.
my brothers, they would have to like share a room. Like if we lived in a 3-bedroom house, of course my mom had her own room, my brothers would share a room, and then I would have my own room. But I'm the only girl, so I needed my privacy. Yeah. So by default, like I would always have my own room. When I lived with my aunt, my cousin and I, my girl cousin and I, we shared a room for a little while, but then my aunt ended up buying a house, and then we all had our own rooms as well. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I never really. Yeah, I never really had to share. At one point, I had stepsisters, but they would only come like for the summer and like Christmas and things like that. So then I would have to share my room with them. But I pretty much just always had my own room. But again, I'm the only girl. I have 4 brothers, so I needed my privacy.
Wow. So you had the chance to like decorate the room.
Yes, yeah. In one of my rooms, it was really nice. It was like I had pink covers. I had a bunk bed, but I didn't sleep on the top bunk. So if I had like a friend or something, I'm having a sleepover, they could like sleep in the bed as well. But like I had pink covers. I had like these pretty like they were like little bows and like pink and white hats and stuff. Like my mom decorated my room really nice.
Sleepover.
Yeah, like when your friends sleep at your house, come and sleep at your house on the weekend.
No, I never had that. Sleep where? Me, I'm sleeping on the floor. I can't have a friend over for sleepover. Yeah. Wow, you had a good life. Right, so the fourth thing we're going to talk about is what we did for fun and if we had any toys growing up.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with this one.
I'm making some more notes for this one.
Okay. We growing up, we played outside. We played in the sun. I didn't have any toys. Didn't even have a bicycle. Where we lived, I had friends who had bicycles. I remember going to my mom. I told my mom, "Oh, I want a bicycle." She didn't. I don't blame her now because I think that she didn't have money, but she was like, "Oh." She just gave me some excuse. I don't remember, but the bicycle never came. I didn't have my own computer or anything. Friends had their own computers. I just played in the sun. And I think on Fridays and Saturdays we played soccer. You guys call it soccer. We call it football. Yeah. We played football. And occasionally it was like one boy, Emmanuel. I remember his name very well. Emmanuel was the only one who had like a proper soccer ball. And for some reason, for him to be pissed that day, we're not going to play. So
because it's football. Oh, that's so mean.
So we couldn't play. I think at the point what we did was we took our like used exercise books and then we molded it into something round and then we bought tape and then we taped it. And then it became our ball. And then another one too, I think those who Ghanaians who watch this video would know what I'm talking about. We used to play with like a car tire. So the used tire that is not of
you sit inside of it and roll down a hill?
Yes, we did that, but that was dangerous. I was scared though. We did that, but what we did, another thing we did was we poured water in, either water or we got some engine oil or any oil that we could find. We pour it in the tire, and then we get sticks. I'm gonna show a picture, don't worry. And then we get sticks, we put it inside, and then just we rolling, pushing it. Let me show you a picture. I think I have a picture here.
Wait, pushing it like what? Pushing it where?
Just running around with it. You wouldn't understand. I think I have the picture on the iPad, don't worry.
Yeah.
I have a picture here. This is it.
Oh.
Yes.
That was fun?
That was fun, guys. I think I'll show this picture. Trust me, babe. This was the best you could ever have. Okay,
so for me, I feel like the older I got, I think maybe I just outgrew toys as I got older, so I really didn't have toys. But for me, I had like Easy Bake Ovens. I had like 2 of those, maybe 3. I know for a fact I had 2 Easy Bake Ovens. I had a Bop It, and I had the Bop It Extreme. I had like when I was really young, I had like the little like kitchen set with the tea party set, and then I had like Play-Doh. I told you I would make my Play-Doh. I would make the Play-Doh into food, and then I would like try to eat it, but Play-Doh was really salty, so I would just like make little food with it. But I also had like the little fake food, the fake plastic food, like hot dogs and that little stuff.
Wow.
I had multiple bikes growing up. Multiple bikes. Yep.
Multiple bikes.
I had multiple bikes growing up. I had like things like jump ropes. I had like Barbie dolls. I had like the baby dolls that come with like the strollers and things like that.
Wow.
And I think those were like the main toys I had. Like we would get a lot of like board games and stuff as well, like Monopoly and Trouble. We would play like Uno and things like that.
Speaking of board games, there's a game that Ludo. I don't know if someone can comment there in the comment section. Ludo it's a board game for 4 people can play, where you have a die, you just turn it around, and if you play 6, you can move your player around And then the one who gets to get home first is who.
Oh, kind of like Trouble. It's like, I don't know if you guys remember Trouble.
I don't know.
It's kind of the same.
We call it Ludo.
Oh, okay.
We call it Ludo. So that also was one of the games that we played. But yeah, that's it. The next one is, did you have birthday parties?
So, yes and no. It wasn't an every year thing because my oldest brother and I, we share the same birthday.
Oh.
So yeah, so we couldn't do parties like every single year. I only remember a party when I was like super young. And then I remember I had another party when I was like in 5th grade. But other than that, we didn't have like parties and things like that because it was 2 of us.
Oh, so your mom didn't like take you guys out to eat, to do something?
Sometimes she did. Again, my mom was a single parent, so she couldn't always, just like with the toy thing, we didn't always have like good Christmases, we didn't always have like good birthdays, but she would at least try to get us like one gift if she could. Oh. Yeah, we would at least get like one gift. Like if I wanted a baby doll, I would get a baby doll. If my brother wanted like a basketball or something, he would get it. Sometimes we got a few more gifts. Sometimes, it was like a bigger celebration, but it wasn't like big all the time because, she wasn't always able.
Oh, so I guess you had birthday cakes and all of that?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes she would get us a small birthday cake, and it would be like half was decorated for me, half was decorated for him. Oh. When I lived with my aunt, she didn't buy birthday cake. She would just make us a birthday cake. She would just go buy like $3, $4 cake mix in the frosting, and then she would bake a cake for us. Yeah, but even when I lived with her, it was just like, oh, it's your birthday. Yeah.
The only time I had like birthday cake was when it was a friend's birthday and I was at the place and I had a piece of the cake. But I never, ever, guys, never, ever had a birthday party. Never. Like when people are like, oh man, mom's birthday is coming, I need to do this. I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I didn't have a birthday party. The only time, there's one picture of me when I was 1 year old. I think I'll show you that picture. 1 year old, and all we had was like beverages. There was no cake. It was crackers. No birthday cake. And since there's no other picture of me with a cake, none. So for me, birthdays didn't really mean anything to me. Like, no big deal. Sometimes I even forget that it's my birthday. So, nope, didn't celebrate it until I met this beautiful woman.
Yeah. I try to make sure we do birthdays. Yeah.
Nope, didn't have that. I wanted to. Like, it was nice. It would have been nice because I used to go to everyone's birthday parties, and then my friends would ask me, "So,
what are you doing for your birthday?"
And I'd be like, "I don't know." It was painful, but at a point in time, I was like, whatever. I don't even want to think about it again. So that was it. And I was hurt. Yeah. But anyway.
So is that why you enjoyed your first birthday with me?
Yes.
You were really surprised?
Listen. She surprised me. Yes. Yeah, it was nice. It was lovely. She surprised me and I really appreciated it. Like she in fact, she added all the parties that I missed and she put it into one and celebrated for me one day. And it was nice and I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, I think that's the end, right?
Yeah, that's the end.
All our topics for now. It might be a part 2 or something like that.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure there will be a part 2. So guys, if you like this video, kindly like, comment, and subscribe. And also
turn on the notification.
Oh yes, I forgot. And also turn on the notification bell. And I would like to hear from you. Tell us in the comment section how your childhood was like, and then we will definitely respond to that. All right. So to end the video, I'm Andrew.
I'm Free.
And we are
TheGhaMerican.
Bye. See you.